Yo, what's going on guys, Saren here and welcome back to another chaoszeronightmare video. Now today, we're gonna be taking a look at Yuki Crumbs, and yes, the person that goes by Stardust Leaks actually got some information on Yuki. However, as you can see on your screen right now, there is a lot of translation issues. So take this with a grain of salt. We don't know if this is the finalized version or not. Of course, it's not gonna be, but there will be news, however, for tomorrow, so if you're interested, make sure to drop by my stream. We're gonna be in the waiting room and react to the video together, but unsure if today they will announce the video or not. If they are, then I'm gonna update it on my socials. But regardless, let's take a look at Yuki. Now, first of all, let's take a look at her special skills or potentials that she has. If Yuki's attack is greater than 600 plus 5% flash iceberg cleave damage amount for every 80 exceeding that value, additionally plus 1% plus 5% max, so 10% total. Now this is just whatever, because usually the one that changes a lot is at 3-2 I believe, or 3-1, however you want to call it. It's like after you got into the third phase of the potential, you unlock a special unique skill or unique potential that a combatant can have. Let's see. Plus 5% damage amount for Yuki's longsword slash rapid slash if Yuki's attack is greater than 500, and there's your plus 5% of that value. Okay, I believe this one is also part of the higher ones, the top end proficiency, so we're not gonna take a look at these two. However, I believe this one is the proficiency 3-1, which is inspiration to longsword slash card, draw one own attack card, and inspiration to rapid slash card, add a cost 1 reduction effect. Now, I have no idea what inspiration does. Let me know down in the comments below if you know what it does. I'm just really going through this, but looking at just from her kit so far, I can't say underwhelming, of course, but we have no idea how good she is until she comes out. So this is just basically on face value on how we judge her, and there's a lot of translation issues going on. Now, let's take a look at her partner actually. Her partner, I forgot her name. I believe it was something along the lines of Wilhelm something, but either way. So let's see what her partner does. Attack cards of the assigned combatant drawn by the ability have their damage increased by 25% for 1 turn. An extra 10% damage amount of the assigned combatant's card with inspiration. So I guess inspiration is something, a special unique effect that she will own, which is interesting. Correct me if I'm wrong. If other combatants have inspiration, let me know down in the comments below. And her ego skill is move 1 cards from hand to draw pile and draw 1 assigned combatant cards. I believe this one also puts it on top of the draw pile. I think so, or unless it's not on the draw pile, it's just as is. Because I believe there's something else under here, but maybe I could be wrong. Okay, let's take a look at her banner. Her banner is gonna include Nia and Lucas. Now, to be honest, Nia is very good, but Lucas, however, of course, there's no bad combatants in this game whatsoever. If you build them enough, everyone can shine. That's the beauty of CZN. But when it comes to the value of this banner, I would say Nia is good to get multiple copies. But Lucas, on the other hand, I don't want to slander Lucas and Joyce out there, but yes, Lucas is a bit, you know, I don't want to use the word underwhelming, of course, because everyone has their favorites, so I'm not gonna judge. But if you guys already have Hugo, in my case I don't, then you can skip this banner for real, because since this Yuki is like a older striker, and I believe Hugo, I forgot if Hugo is a striker or not, but he's more like a follow-up type attacker. Let me know in the comments below. But yes, I do think Yuki is gonna be good for people that don't have a striker for this particular element, which in my case I don't have it, so I'm gonna be attempting to pulling for her. And yeah, okay, let's take a look at her basic cards, and then we're gonna get into her epiphanies later. So her first basic card is longsword slash, 100% damage, and this one as well, 220% for rapid cut, flowing parry, the shield. Okay, so these 3 are the basic cards, and now we get into the unique cards. So prepare to suppress, draw own 1 attack card plus 20% damage for 1 turn. Okay, there's nothing much. Epiphanies, this also includes this one, by the way, because if you already don't know, the 4th one on top is actually part of Epiphanies, so yeah. Now let's take a look. Flash, 180% damage, inspiration -2 cost. I still have no idea what that is, but we'll see. Trickery Strike, retain 150% damage, choose one card in the hand and place them on top of the draw pile. Okay, maybe I've mistaken the ego skill with this one. So yeah, this one puts the card that you chose on the top of the draw pile. Freezing Blade is an upgrade skill, it's unique. Plus 150% damage to own one last drawn attack card. I think this one affects every turn. It's not gonna be like one time thing, I believe, so it's gonna consistently go on for the entire battle, since it doesn't limit to say one turn. So I'm assuming that's what it is, and that's how upgrade cards behave, so we're gonna assume that. Iceberg Cleave, 240% times 1, meaning 1 times of 240% damage, inspiration plus 2 hits. Okay. Now let's take a look at her Epiphany cards. Prepare to Suppress. The first Epiphany is it adds retain to it. Draw own 1 attack cards plus 40% damage for 1 turn. Okay. Second Epiphany, draw own 1 inspiration cards plus 20% damage for 1 turn. And the third one, draw own 2 attack cards plus 20% damage for 1 turn and retrieve. So it will retrieve this skill for 1 time. And Prepare to Suppress, draw own 1 attack cards for 1 turn. That card plus 20 hits. Now this one is probably a bug. I'm pretty sure this one is plus 2 hits instead of 20 hits. So I don't think there will be a character that does it, unless CZN decides to surprise me and everyone else, it actually does 20 hits. That'll be crazy, but I highly doubt so. If this card actually does 20 hits, she could become an instant boss killer when you stack enough attack buff on her, and which is insane, but I doubt it. Take this at face value, okay? This is not finalized whatsoever, so make sure to not believe anyone that says this is true, because again, this is still crumbs, still leaks. We have to wait until the news tomorrow. Now, Prepare to Suppress final Epiphany. Draw 1 attack cards. At the start of the next turn, draw 1 attack cards. Okay. None of these are like upgrades of sorts, so it won't be like permanent. This one will be a one-time thing, and you technically cycle them. And from all these Epiphanies, the only one I see that would be good is probably the first one, the retain. This could be helpful if you need to use her skill at the right time. And of course, I want to say this one is good as well, but the 20 hits is very sus right now. I don't think it's 20. It's probably gonna be 2 hits. But if this actually stayed until the patch release, that would be insane. So I'm lying on between the first, the fourth, and maybe the second one, because inspiration cards kind of targeting. Maybe this will be good as well. The third one is also decent. Draw 2 of her own attack cards, which is nice, and you get to retrieve it. So after you use it, you can use this skill again to retrieve the attack cards, which is actually quite good. So I rate these 4 very good, but the last one is not that good. Personal opinion, of course. You can let me know down in the comments below what you think. Okay, let's move on to the second card that has Epiphanies. So Flash, 270% damage, inspiration -2 cost. Okay, this one just increased damage. And this second Epiphany makes it become AoE, 180% to all enemies and -2 cost for inspiration. Okay. And this one, 180% times 1. Okay, I don't get this. Is this supposed to be... It's a single target, right? I don't get why the times 1. Because unless it's like 2 times, then that makes sense. But I don't get this part. So probably it's an issue with translation. And goddamn. Yeah, okay. Well, this one adds retain for it for sure. But we don't know what this is. 300% damage on the last one. When this card is drawn, cost -1. Okay, this one is like a double-edged sword. Technically, if you do not... I don't know if it's a double-edged sword because it says drawn. So technically, if you are drawing the card normally from every turn, won't it permanently -1 cost? Unless there's some mechanic that I don't understand about the game, whereas drawn only counts when you use a card to draw it, unless it doesn't count when you naturally draw. Maybe that could be the case here. I'm not sure. But yes, as you can see, translations are heavily issued here. As I don't understand these cards. And from the second Epiphany, I would probably say The AoE is okay. I have no idea what the retain does. This damage is good, but I still don't know if it affects when you normally draw it or you have to use cards to draw it. Maybe that's the case. But regardless, the 300% is the most damage, so inspiration minus 2 cost, it will become 0. And I think the one that, this one, if you have inspiration, I think it's easily to like just consistently use this skill, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Consistently use this skill with when you have when you have inspiration on her. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering so much. Oh my gosh. But yes, I do think the first one, the second one, and possibly the last one. Last one is kind of sus. I'm just gonna say the first and second because they are most consistent when it comes to like being 0 cost, so it'll help out your deck a bit cheaper. But yeah, let's move on. Trickery Strike. The first one, okay, the base already has retain, so it just increases its damage. And choose one own cards in hand, activate inspiration. Okay, so this one can manually choose what cards to activate inspiration on. And the second Epiphany gives retrieve as well. Same thing, same as the base passive, increase damage but also gain a retrieve. Alright, and 1 damage. Okay, there's no way this is 1 damage. We can't exactly review these cards if there's a bunch of issues here. I hope this will be fixed when it comes out. But yes, JP has a live stream coming up. I already scheduled it, and I'll be doing live translation as well. So make sure to click the bell for my channel or notify me on the video itself so you get notified whenever the stream is about to go live. And yeah, okay, let's move on. 150% damage. Choose one of own attack cards in hand, and then something else. They are damaged until used, then place them on top of the draw pile. Okay, 260% damage. Inspiration cost 1. Now usually most cards that can minus costs or anything else you can make a powerful attack cards to become 0 is always a good card in my opinion, and yes, this will be one of them. However, we still need to wait for the translation to fix itself, and yes, I hope the devs actually look into this because this is ridiculous. Okay, let's take a look at the last Epiphany cards. Freezing Blade. So all these are going to be upgrades. And the first one, increase damage to own 1 last draw attack card. Okay, nothing much. Second, Unique Initiation. 150% damage to own 1 last. Okay, this one's the same except it adds Initiation. Now, I'm not sure if Initiation, are they going to rework the word Outbreak of War into Initiation? We don't know. But the initiative cards include like Mika's card. If you have that what do you call it, the gear from Chaos where it activates 1 card initiative cards, I believe Mika has it, but I'm not sure if this applies to it as well. I think this one applies to it, but I'm not sure if this is Outbreak of War because there are some people debating whether if they change the term for Outbreak of War into Initiation. So yeah, I can't confirm that yet. Now the third one, when drawn by an ability, plus 330% damage of own attack card for 1 turn. Okay, this one is a lot of buff. And the fourth one is just draw own 1 attack cards. Okay, nothing much. And the fifth one, at the start of the turn, draw own something attack cards for 1 turn, something its damage. That's crazy. Now from what I can see here, a lot of this just deals damage, and also with the inspiration mechanic, I have no idea how confident or how consistent that she can proc inspiration onto her own cards, and depending on that, it will determine her value in Dimensional Twilight. However, I do think if people already have Hugo, can definitely skip her because at level 50, you're gonna spend too much resource on building each and every new character. So I suggest to like save, and for people like me that don't have order DPS, maybe you can go for Yuki as well. That's what I'm planning to do. I have my guarantee set up for her, but for people that already have Hugo, you can skip her because ideally Hugo is probably the most consistent, being useful in a lot of content wise, gameplay and stuff. Basically, he's just that good, and people that have perfect epiphanies for Hugo just makes him look like a monster in all the content in CZN, so that's insane. And I apologize if my voice sounds like this right now. I'm a bit sick, hence why I stutter a bit. If you made this far into the video, thank you so much. I'm sorry if the quality is poor or my way of explaining things is kind of difficult for you to like enjoy or hear properly. In that case, I'm very sorry. But yes, I'm a bit sick. I kind of lost my voice a bit, so I hope you guys understand. But yes, regardless, I am excited for this new patch, and the game has been very amazing for me, so I hope it is for you guys as well. But that'll be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Aaron. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in my next video.